Okay, I'm back on the 300ZX once again, and I am relocating the PTU unit, the power transistor unit. And looking at it on the hood and everything, I've watched lots of videos on it, but now looking at it under the hood, I think I found an easier way of doing that. The PTU needs to stay cool. It's against the engine block from the factory, and it's right behind a radiator hose. And if they fail, they begin to get hot and they fail, then there's going to be misfires and stuff like that and problems. But if you just go ahead and relocate it like they should have done, the factory, then it's less chance of that. And I'm going to relocate it to a cooler spot. There's two opportunities here. There's one, I could put it in front of the radiator, which takes a little more time, or I could put it on the far firewall, up on the side of the firewall, which will run okay. It should be fine right there too. So I'm going to try for that, but I'm going to take you over there and show you where I'm at and what I'm doing. Alright, this hose here has to come off. This hose has to come out of the way because the PTU unit is right here. It's right there, behind all of this right here, on the engine block thing. Well, not the engine block, the cover for the timing cover here. And the wiring harness comes from over there, comes this way, it goes to the PTU unit, and then the wiring harness goes back. Okay? But to get to the bolts for it and everything is right under here. You got to remove this air induct hose here. This is for the air. And I kind of already got started. There is a hose clamp way down here, right here. I've already undone it. That's what this is all set up for. I've already undone it. I've got to undo this one. I've got two hoses here that I done pulled off. That hose I done pulled back, and you use a little tool like this here to do that. You can stick this in there and go around it, loosen it up, and then you ease it on back. Then there's another hose here, vacuum hose, right here. I took in pliers and moved this back, and then I worked with this here until I could slide it back. And then this hose here will come out. Okay, like I said, I got the other hoses loose. I got that loose down there. And I'm ready to come out with this. I want to keep it all together just like that. And it looks to be in pretty good shape. Alright, now here's the unit right here. Right here, and I've got to get the right socket. It looks like a 10. I don't know what this is that I've got. I gotta, boy, it's a little one. Look at that. I gotta keep up with it. There's a bracket up here on top. And keep up the bracket too. And then there's going to be one or two at the bottom. The bottom down there. I see it's way down here. And the other one is behind here. I'm going to disconnect the battery because I don't know about unplugging that plays a role or not. but I am going to go ahead and take the ground off of there. Let's see if I can get to it. I'm disconnecting the battery. The battery's right here. And that's a 10. This is an 8 and that's a 10. There's a 10. Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to lose that now. Now the battery's disconnected. The ground is disconnected. Get this out of the way. And back over here again. Now I can unplug this stuff. There's a little catch right here. Let me get back with you. I got to figure out how to undo that and then I'll show you. Okay. There's 4 of them. I got these 2 out pretty easy. That down there, way down there, right in there, I had to use a wrench, and I didn't have a ratchet wrench, and it's an 8. Now there's another one right there, but now I did find out how to undo this here, and see that little tab on the front? The little tab right there, you got to push that tab down real hard. And then this here will slide off. I've already loosened it up. But I'm pushing on the tab right here. Pushing it hard. And then this will slide up. Okay. Now I can get to that one. I'll probably have to use a wrench. The wrench. There it is. There's the wrench. Okay. This is going to be laborious. I've already started breaking it loose. One turn at a time. I don't have a ratchet 8 millimeter. And these bolts are short. I don't want to drop it. And if I could get that little socket, this 8 millimeter socket, just a socket, just to turn it like a screwdriver. And I can't. Let me go grab a magnet. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is keep this magnet there as well. I've got the magnet near it. That way when it gets loose, I'm going to use the open end and try to spin it. Maybe instead of it falling down, it'll just go ahead and attach to that magnet. Okay, it's loose. I can see it coming out. And I've got it if I don't lose it. There it is. I got it. Direct on the magnet now. Okay, so this is loose now. This is loose. Actually, I can see the belts down there better now too. Okay. So far, I've gone from here, and I've moved it all the way back to here. Now, if I had a little more wire, I could put it somewhere over there or up here in the front where everybody else is putting it. But I've got to cut some of that tape back. So let me get that started, and then we'll play catch up once again. But there it is. I guess I could go ahead and plug that back in. Plug this back in. Okay, this notch right here went to the top. That looks nice and clean in there too. Those look nice and clean. The prongs look nice and clean. Okay, I heard it click. Alright, let me do a little cutting down there and we'll play catch up again. Okay, I hope you can see everything there. Look, I started off with, at the beginning, I started off with some toenail scissors. Clipping it, getting it started. But then I was afraid that I may clip through a wire and not realize it with all the force and everything. So then I went to the blade and I sharpened this one. I always sharpen my blades. Actually, if you look at it close, you can tell. See the gap, how it is right there? But anyhow, so I started just kind of cutting it down through there, trying to be careful. And then to unwrap it, I was using this little hook thing here. And there is a piece of extra plastic on the inside here to protect the wires. When I'm down to there, I got to go all the way down another good 8 inches or more. And I figured this is time to get something videoed if I'm going to do it. And it's really hard to see down in there. Well, that light's got to be a little higher than that. Sometimes my hand's going to be in the way here. There's not much room down here to work at all, but the wires are protected with another inner piece of plastic here. That piece there, which is good. And then if I go to tear it off, I use these needle nose here to take it and try to unwrap it. This car is either not low enough or not high enough. It makes it tough trying to do this. And this blade here is super sharp right now, so I got to be careful. Not to cut too deep. I would presume this is almost like doing surgery. Well, the back part of my legs feel this. All this leaning over and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off. We'll play catch up here in a minute. Okay, it's time to play catch up. There is a clip right here. Your wires go through it. You got to take a screwdriver and twist and break the clip. Well, not break it, but unfasten it with a screwdriver, and then you can just pull the wires past it. I don't know how much of this is getting picked up on video, but you can get it past because you got more cutting of tape right there. It's got to be done. Right here, I got to cut that tape, and then that will loosen all of this back to about right here is where I need to be. Now this is where I'm at up here. Let me get some light. Alright. Here's the PTU unit right here. And there's the wires. Now what I'm doing is there's two wires up here. There's one for the temperature inside the car. It's not thermal unit, but I can't even think what you call it. But it registers how hot it gets right there. I was working on it the other day. This one here turns on the fan that's in front of the air conditioner. So those two wires are down in all this. So that's all you're doing. All this work you're doing is to separate those wires from this nest to be able to replace this over there somewheres, or in front here to right here. Pull this cap, pull this off, and put it under here, which is what a lot of people do. And it'd be a lot cooler to do that. And that's what I'm going to try to work towards. So let me play catch up with you here in a minute again. Alright, playing catch up. I'm all the way down to here. So I've gone from here, all the way across here, down to this side of the engine block. Right there. And these are the wires that I need to move. There's the PTU. And I'm fixing to remove the nose piece here, and I may loosen the radiator enough to push it back, because these wires right here have got to go along where this light's going, right there, and then down through there, and then underneath, and then through here. That's where those wires have got to go. And they really need to be wrapped before I do that. But I want to get things prepared, and then I got to go after I got to have some tape, good quality tape. So These wires here are loose now. They need to be wrapped here. That's all that's going across the front now, just them 2 wires, or 3 wires. All the rest of that wiring harness goes as PTU, which I'm going to put under there. Okay, like I said a minute ago, I've got to get some wire tape, electrical tape, to wire that back up, tape that back up. But I'm going to go ahead and put this hose, this air hose, induct hose, back in place. That's what we're doing now. Now I got these 2 hoses down here. The little bitty one, suction hose, vacuum hose. Then I gotta get this one on there. These hooks help a lot. I'm just taking a screwdriver behind it and trying to push it up on there. Alright, I got to wrestle with it for a minute or two. Well, I'll come back to you.
Ah.